Alright, just wanted to give a quick recap of where we are. So I built this frame that goes all the way around the outside of the bed, well, the inside. And then I built this frame here to hold these two boxes. Used pocket hole jig for connecting these and connecting these here. And that's because I didn't have access to the other side. Okay, I've got all of my pieces cut, at least this lengthwise. And I've got this 1x underneath here, which I'm going to attach, and that'll kind of hang over. It'll be like a little lip for keep the rain from getting inside the bed. And I'll cut right here and right here, because this is going to lift up like that, and this is going to lift up like that, and same on the other side. So this will just be attached here and it'll just stay permanent. And I've traced around this outline so I can get that cut out with a jigsaw and get that attached. And then once I've got that attached, then I'll be able to round everything over. And then I need to do the same thing around this curve right here and along this backside right here. All right, we'll keep going. Okay, so I've glued the ends on this board, and I've got these glued and clamped. And I don't have any more clamps, that's all of them. So that side's gonna have to wait. I'll probably let this sit here for about 20 minutes, and then I'll go over and I'll do the other side. Okay, so this is the panel that goes up against the cab. And this is the panel that goes back by the tailgate. And if I back up, you can get a better look at the angles of the truck bed. And you can see just how angled that is. So I've got that cut out, and it's just a rough cut. So what I need to do is come back with my sander, and I'll sand these all nice and smooth all the way around. I'll do that along here as well. This one's not that bad. Do it along here. And I still need to put my overhang there. I'm going to have to piece that together because I don't have a piece long enough. But that's not going to be a problem. That's going to be up against the cab. You're never going to see it anyway. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this panel here and I'm going to cut it into 3 pieces. And I'll have the centerpiece will be permanent, and then I'll have a piece that covers each of these boxes, and they'll lift up on hinges. And the reason why I've got a permanent middle section here, and I also have a thin one here as well, that's because I don't want this to be lifted up this way and these to be lifted up that way, and for either one of them to get in the other's way. So by having it done like this, it eliminates that problem. So let me get to working on these. I still have to put one overhang on here on this panel, and I need to put the front and rear overhang on this panel. And once I get those in place, I'll sand them, and then I should be able to get some stain. Okay, this is going to be a little bit tricky because, again, this is more narrow than the very back against the cab. I think from just this little 2-foot section here, it drops about 1/2 inch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure from the longest side, because it's actually square here and it's square here. So I need to take my measurements from the back, and I want to hit this, so I'm going to go, I don't want it to come over too much, so I'm going to go 26.5, and that should work in this direction as well. So yeah, 26.5 is going to just get me onto that 2x4. But one thing I noticed is that I'm a little bit high right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my planer, and I'm going to shave that down until I get it nice and flush with this. So let me get to that. All right, that's pretty good. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're just talking about a storage box here. It's not fine furniture. I'm using construction grade lumber with plenty of flaws in it. And it's, some of these boards are twisted, a little bit warped, out of shape. So I'm just doing the best I can to get these as square as possible. So I'm going to go with that, and I'm going to go with 26. I think I'm going to go 26 3/4. That'll get it a little bit further onto this 2x4 where I'm going to put the hinge to open up this way. Okay, that section in the back there is all glued and ready to be routed. So I'm going to route the inside of this so that it has a much easier time of going over the raised frame. Okay, I know that along this side right here, that is the longest side, and that it's square with the center. So I'm going to make my marks along the back, and then I'll square it up this way to make my 2 cuts. Okay, I've got my my brace squared and clamped, so I should be able to make a nice cut. All right, let me move everything over a little bit. We'll do that one more time. All right, so this is a little tricky how I'm doing this because it's curved, and the curve from square is thicker than this board. What I'm doing is I've got it clamped over here where it's just past the edge, and then I've had to move it like this until the entire edge was covered. And then I marked, using my T-square, the center of this panel, because that back edge is where the T-square is located. That is actually square to the center. Then I've got my board in the right position, and I'm using my T-square going off of my known center, and I'm marking the center of this board, so that way I get my angle. And as soon as I get my angle, I can make that cut, and this should be able to flip, and it'll be the perfect angle to go in the opposite direction and make full coverage just like this. So let me make that cut and we'll see if I'm right. All right, so I made that cut, and it looks like I've got some, it's over here and it's over there. And I've got that where it meets in the center. So now I just need to make me a square cut, or cut the right angle here, and then come over and do the same thing here. And then this should fit okay, and I'll be able to trace it out, cut it, glue it, sand it, route it. All right, let me get some glue on this, get it clamped up.
Couple of clamps.
All right, so I got this last section glued, and I've got the edges sanded and rounded over with the router bit. And I'm happy with those results. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. It's good enough for me. So let me get this up on the top there. We'll see how well it fits, if I need to make any minor adjustments. And then I guess if everything looks good, it's ready to be stained. All right, I've got everything just dry fit up here. Not sure if you can see, but I've got a little indention right here. So I've got this coming right up through the indention. Maybe you can see it a little bit better. So go down like that. Coming around, coming up, curving here, and then back. I think everything fits pretty well. Now you can kind of get an idea of what this is. I've got a little storage box on either side with easy access. and that's why I have that centerpiece that's going to be permanent there. So I have something that is attached that I can put my hinge, connect my hinge to, and that's the same reason why I've got this strip right here. So it allows this to open freely, and it gives me something for this to hinge to. If I couldn't hinge to this because then I wouldn't be able to lift it up. So if we lift this up, I got to put a handle on there, and you can kind of see on the inside. Pretty heavy with that 3/4 inch plywood. That's why I was looking for 5/8, but 3/4 will be fine. I just need to put some kind of a handle here that I can grab onto and lift up. I'll probably do the same for these as well, although these lift up pretty easy. All right, so at this point, I need to get these stained, and then once they're stained and made waterproof, then I'll be able to get those attached. But that's going to do it for this video. I'll save the finishing and the final assembly for the next video. So make sure and stay tuned for that next video. So I'll talk to you guys later.